This is on page 9 of your class packet, and we're going to go over solving a system by our second method, which is substitution. So all these are systems because we have two equations, and before we learned how to solve them by making a graph and seeing where they cross. Our answer is still going to be in the form of a point because we're still finding out where they cross, we're just doing it without graphing. So how you do that is you want to make sure one of your equations are in y equals mx plus b. My top one is already in that form for us. So once you have one in that form, you're going to take that information and substitute it in for y into the other equation. So I'm going to rewrite this out as x. There's technically a minus 1 there, so minus 1. Now when you substitute, you always put in parentheses. And I'm substituting y. Instead of y, I'm putting negative x plus 5 because that's what y equals. And then finishing this equation, it equals negative 1. That's how it looks when we substitute. Now we solve for x. I'm going to start by distributing. So I'm going to bring down this x. Negative 1 times negative x is positive 1x. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5, and it equals negative 1. Combining like terms, x plus x is 2x. Then I still have minus 5 equals negative 1. Add 5 to both sides. 2x equals 4. Divide each side by 2. X equals 2. So there's half my answer because, again, we're trying to find the point where they intersect. So now I'm going to take that 2 and you can plug it into either equation. I would do the one that's already in y equals mx plus b. So this is going to be y equals, instead of negative x, I'm going to put negative 2 because x is 2, and then it says plus 5. Well, negative 2 plus 5 is 3, so y is 3. So there's your answer for the first one. So these two lines would cross at the point 2, 3. Let's do this one down here. So again, this one's already in the correct form, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to take that and substitute in for this y. So it'll be negative 3x minus 3. Instead of y, I'm going to put 6x minus 6 equals negative 24. To solve this, I'm going to distribute. So negative 3x. Negative 3 times 6x is negative 18x. And negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. Combining like terms, I get negative 21x. Subtract 18 from both sides. Negative 21x equals negative 42. Divide by negative 21. And I get x equals 2 again. So there's half my answer. So again, to finish it, I'm going to take the 2 and plug it into either one. Again, I would choose the one that's already in y equals mx plus b. So this would be 6 times 2 minus 6, because x is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. So there's your answer to that one. Now this one right here, if you look, neither of them are in the correct form. So you need to choose one to put into y equals mx plus b. I would do the one that looks easier, which to me that's the top one. To put this in y equals mx plus b, I just have to subtract 4 from each side. So y equals 3x minus 4. And now that it's in correct form, I can go ahead and put it in for y. This would be 2. Instead of y, I put 3x minus 4. And then it's still minus 6x equals negative 8. Distribute. This would be 6x minus 8. And then I still have the minus 6x equals negative 8. Combining like terms, 6x minus 6x is 0. It cancels out. So you're left with negative 8 equals negative 8. Well, that's true. So that means your answer is going to be infinite solutions. If you remember from, let's see, what page is it? Page 4, we can have 3 different types of answers. So the fact that these are equal to each other, it's infinite solutions. Let's say, for example, you ended with 8 equals 7. That is not true, so that would be an example of a no solution system. So that's how you solve by substitution, which is our second method.